Have you ever been accused of something that you didn't do? Well, it happened to me when I owned my pool business. A client called me and blamed me for something that I didn't do. Actually, I did it, but they were blaming me for something because they were blaming me and saying that I didn't come do their pool that day. Now, I knew I was there. I knew I cleaned the pool, but here they are on the phone with me and they're telling me that I didn't come. I said, well, I was there today and I cleaned your pool. They said, no, we've been home all day long and you didn't come. I've got company in town and no one's seen you. So we're wondering when you're gonna come. So now I'm thinking to myself, what am I gonna say? What am I gonna do? I was there already, but they don't believe me. They're not believing that I was there. So how am I gonna prove it to them? I could possibly lose this account. Obviously they don't trust what I'm saying. They don't think I'm being honest now. I mean, I had no idea what I'm gonna do. How am I gonna prove it to them? But then I remembered the shark. It hit me, the shark. I said, are you still home? They said, yeah, we're still home. We've been home all day. That's why we know you hadn't come. I said, do me a favor and walk out to your pool. Now, when I was there earlier that day, I remembered a little toy shark by the spa that's attached to the pool. And I remembered it because I thought to myself, that's unusual. I don't ever see any toys out here. Maybe they have company, or maybe their grandkids are here, or whatever. I dismissed it, whatever, and cleaned the pool. So I asked them to go out and look by the pool, hoping that that shark was gonna be there. This was gonna be the only thing that was gonna save me and prove that I was there. They looked and said, yeah, it's still there. I said, well, that's how you can, well, now you know that I came because that shark was there when I cleaned the pool this morning. And you know, they actually almost got defensive. They actually did get defensive and said, well, I don't know how we missed you because we've been home all day and we would have seen you. And I just can't believe that you came. I said, well, I was there. There's a shark. That's how I know. I mean, that's how you know that I was there because I know the shark's there. And I don't know if they were just embarrassed or what, but there was nothing else to say because that proved that I was there. But sometimes in life, you can't prove when you're accused of things. Sometimes you're left with just a couple of options. And those options are stay true to yourself, be honest, calm, and let your actions speak for themselves over time. Or two, you can become bitter. You can become argumentative. You can try to retaliate so that you feel justified. You can't always control what people say about you, but you can control the person that you choose to be. I love reading about old philosophers and thinkers in the past, and Socrates was one of those. And he used to say that it's better to suffer an injustice than become an unjust person yourself. And that kind of changed the way I thought about things, especially when people accuse me of something that I didn't do, false accusations. He had another saying that the only true wisdom is knowing you know nothing. And that is so true. Don't be so quick to judge. You know, Socrates was put on trial and accused of things that he believed were untrue. So get all the information before you accuse somebody of something or blame somebody for something. Make sure you have all your information. Don't jump to conclusions because you never know. You may be wrong. These are lessons I learned sometimes too late in life or later in life. But doing the pools, I learned a lot of lessons and that was one of them. It was hard because I thought I might lose the account, but I didn't. I ended up keeping the account. You know, maybe they felt a little embarrassed and maybe they learned a lesson. That's the way life is. We learn by our mistakes in life, and then we can, in the future, avoid those mistakes. That's what we do with our kids. We teach, our kids, don't touch that hot stove, it's gonna burn you. And sometimes they gotta touch it just to make sure. Sometimes in life, we're not gonna have a shark. Sometimes we don't have that shark, so we have to be careful. Don't jump to conclusions, don't accuse people, because you know what? They might have a shark. And you don't want to be embarrassed. So when things like that happen, I always think about shark. Shark. Little shark saved me that day, but it very well could not have saved me. And then I don't know what would have happened. Who knows? All right. All right, you know what I'm gonna say? Give me a thumbs up, give me a like, and subscribe to the channel, and I appreciate it. And I'll see you on the next one.